everyone, welcome to our new episode of Kathor Vaani, brought to you by the Student Alumni Committee of IIM Rohtak. I am Lakshmi, and along with me from Alumni Committee, I have Darun and Hari Krishnan. Today, we have with us Mr. Harshit Mishra. Harshit completed his BTech at IIT Dhanbad and joined IIM Rohtak for his MBA in 2014 to 2016. He is currently working as an assistant manager at the Bank of America. We are extremely delighted to have you with us, and we are looking forward to an exciting conversation with you.
Hi guys, good to be back.
Okay, so let's start with the formal segment then. Okay, so how do you assess India's recent milestone of financial inclusion through Jan Dhan account and digitalization powered by UPI? And what do you think should be the next goal that India should focus on in this matter?
Yeah, definitely. India is now known to everybody, or India is now famous in the international market as a tech hub that is obviously known to everyone. But in that, even the way they have like pushed the finance or the financing activities to the grassroots level is even more remarkable. And but I guess governance is also something where we lag. Still, we lag. And the other thing that I also feel that which need more scrutiny is security of the transactions and the knowledge of using a UPI or a digital banking services at a grassroots level. So I guess the education of using technology is, if that can be, given to the most, at the grassroots level, and making sure that those guys do not have to face any fraudulent activities or anything that cause damage to their hard-earned money. That will be, I guess, bring more faith of people in the digital assets. And apart from that, I guess, in terms of risk management, if I'll have to say what India should do next is like, as we have seen in the most recent activities that UK and Brazil, there is a significant impact of political risk on the actual well-being of the country and the strength of that particular currency. And we have seen that what happened to pound sterling after the recent political turmoil in UK, and similarly with Brazil. So I guess one thing that India should focus in terms of risk management in the coming future is how can RBI or the other leading banks can make sure that whatever happens to in the next election, but the rupee should not fall, or rupee should not be representation of a political turmoil of our country.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so now I have this question. So, how do you think the current students in B school who are aspiring to build a career in the banking industry, like what all skill sets should they develop to have a career in the banking industry?
So yeah, I can tell you what exactly I see when I go for interviews, or I have to take someone. Fortunately, I got a chance in my past to visit for campus as well in my first organization itself. So first thing first is like whatever you write in your CV, either it should be true or you should have a convincing power to tell the recruiter that at least you have worked on it. And in that, because finance is not like marketing or strategy where you can just give some random answers and the person who's sitting in front of you won't get that it is correct or not. probably the first line that you'll speak will tell him the personality, your kind of in-depth analysis of that particular, and try to be as simple as you can. For example, if I generally start asking very simple questions to people like, what is the duration of a bond, or how do you price a CDS, or what do you know by delta of a call option, like this. So the first line that you tell me in response is what gives the most of the recruiter about what. So that the thing that I'm trying to tell you is in-depth knowledge, and correctly uploading whatever you have done in your past in your CV, and knowing in depth about it. And if you don't know, then just say you don't know. There's no harm in saying no in finance. Rather than if you'll say something wrong, there is a more chance of not getting. But yeah, if you see that the recruiter is still pushing you, then that means that he believes that you won't be knowing the answer, and he just want to know what is your approach. So there's not a straightforward answer. It's like, even in the interviews, people assume that being a B school grad, you won't be knowing much about the market. If, for example, I'll ask you, how do you price the cross currencies, or let's say interest rate swaption, what is the payoff? You won't be knowing it. We know all of that, right? So they generally ask you that kind of difficult question to know what is your approach. So using a right approach and being honest about your CV is what I feel is important. Apart from that, I guess one more thing that I look into is how much have you tried to be a part of this industry? For example, what is there in your CV that you have worked upon in the most recent? For example, if you have a CFA or FRM certification, then that is good. If apart from that, if you do not have, for example, everyone won't be having that much of money to pay for those in your college times, right? Even if you have some courses on, let's say, machine learning in Coursera or anything, or any good degree in statistics or maths, I guess that will also be, that won't be much of a difference than anyone having a CFA degree or something like that. I hope I answered, right? Or you could, okay.
Yeah, you answered. That was a great explanation.
Cool.
So the next question is, what's your view on the usage of artificial intelligence in the banking sector?
Everyone knows that these will be used, and these are going to be used, but frankly speaking, in your day-to-day deliveries or in the most simple functions, these are still not used. For example, AI obviously is having a much better case than machine learning. But if machine learning is to be, let's say, if I have to tell you that where is currently machine learning used, I guess mostly in dispute resolutions, or in scenarios, I guess. In risk management, basically, I've seen only these two places where ML is used. But so what I'm trying to say is, first of all, your infrastructure should be like that you have that much of tech-based database that you can apply an AI or an ML algorithm on the top of it. If you won't be having, and not many companies can invest that much on their infrastructure, right? So yeah, everyone knows that these things are going to be used, but their usage and the best, standardized practice, I guess, that is still to be found. That's why it is still trending, right? Yeah.
Yeah, got it. So now we'll be moving on to the informal segment of this podcast. And the first question will be, how do you compare your life at IIM Rohtak with your current corporate life? And which do you think was more fun or which is more challenging in that aspect?
There wasn't, let's say, struggle about finding the job. I guess I am Rohtak's life was very easy compared to, uh, yeah, frankly speaking, I, after graduating and having a couple of years of hard work in field job, I was a mechanical grad. So yeah, I was in mining sector. So it was, I had to do shift job. So from there, when I came to college, it was a different feeling. It was, I won't say the toughest because it's that time there wasn't, the campus wasn't made. And so it was not that tough in short, I can say. And in obviously in JP Morgan, Credit Suisse or in Bank of America, if I'll have to say, in organization, I won't say that it is tougher, but the continuous efforts that you have to make are like more frequent than in college. Because in college, you have to only have to literally for finance at least you have to only. I mean, I don't want to say that in that everyone should follow that, or obviously you have in finance it is relatively tougher than marketing or strategy. That is obvious to all, but that has that has its perks as well. That same way of thinking, if you'll develop that, then it will definitely help you in the long run. And once you'll enter in an organization, uh, I guess in finance at least, your credibility is built just after another, right? So yeah, so I guess obviously our corporate life is relatively a bit on, I won't say tougher, but yeah, needs more efforts than uh, college life. College life was there to like relax, not relax, but yeah, to learn.
Nice answer, Harshit. So now, what are the perks of having an IM tag in the corporate world, or are there any perks? Or
No, there are no perk of having an IM tag or having any tag. Yes, if you are placed in a coding job or in a quant job, having an IIT degree definitely helps, because because that job kind of requires that kind of computational skills, or it demands that kind of challenging abilities. So that having an IIT degree helps, but having an IM degree, I don't think, even if that helps, that won't help in campus, because everyone else who is your peer is also having the same degree, right? So if let's say you'll have an advantage of an IM degree, that will be post your first job or joining your first job that you can see. As of now, that has none. There's no such part. Yeah.
So the next question in this segment is there anything that you feel that you could have done differently during your MBA journey?
I should have utilized more of my contacts at the time of my MBA. I was kind of spent my MBA mostly in sports or in other activities. But if specific to job or specific to working is concerned, I don't think that I wanted to change anything. It's just like my personal front. If I could have developed a few more skills at the time of my MBA, I would have been in a better position in terms of my personality. Yeah, that's it.
That was nice to know. So now we'll start with the next segment, that is the rapid fire round. So the first question is is there any guilty pleasure that you wish to share here?
I guess guilty pleasure. I'm too fond of sweets, and yeah, that's one that I think that that is a guilty pleasure. And I whenever I'm like, for example, getting a cheat meal, I order a lot. So yeah, that sometimes, when I look back and see that I've ordered, like, say, a lot of it sweets, then that is one thing that I want to change about myself. Yeah.
So the next question is there any common belief about your job role that you disagree with?
There are many. First thing is, like, in risk management, you don't get paid well. That is wrong. You don't get good bonus. That is also, I guess, is relative. And one thing that I want to tell you, that even if you'll go in any field of finance, and you are in the right team, which is doing the right job, then you'll get, and your manager is good, then you'll be paid well, and and along with that, even working for 10 12 hours, you'll feel satisfied. So job satisfaction is something that you can actually have.
Okay, so that seems like there are a lot of common disbeliefs about this field. So that brings us to the last question of rapid fire round. What is the one question that you wish I should have asked you, or we should have asked you in this podcast?
I guess the last question that you asked, you could have asked, what is the actual correct belief about your job? So, or any job, or any finance job today. So one thing that everyone should understand, that even if you are going to, if that is not a sales job, standard sales job, like finance also has a sales, which is kind of, I mean, IB, most of the people are, think too much about getting an IB role. But in IB also, that is mostly sales, that pays off well, or that has a bigger kind of bonus component of attached to it. So if I'll have to tell you, tech is one thing that is embedded with finance these days. You cannot assume that you can just do your finance job and you won't be having any interaction with technology. If you think that, you'll have to change that approach. India is getting that much of attention, or Indians are getting that much of higher roles because of the technology background that we have, and the technology teams which are based in India. We have a better connect, and we can develop a better relation with that. That's why most of the roles are coming to India. So technology knowledge, coding knowledge, or if not coding knowledge, at least understanding the codes or understanding the language, if you possess, I guess that is going to be a must for finance in next 5 to 10 years.
That was really interesting to know. So we wish to wrap up this session by thanking you for your valuable time and sharing your insights with us. For more such interesting podcasts, stay tuned. Thank you.
Cool.